Jodha Akbar, the 5th of November 2021 update. Jodha is in her room. Jalal comes there. She greets him. Jalal curtly looks at her. He gives her jewelry to her and says, "You left it in palanquin." Jodha is stunned and takes it. He asks, "Where did you with Hameeda yesterday night?" Jodha says, "Don't ask me. I won't be able to lie and can't say truth." Jodha says, "I couldn't do it. I couldn't break your trust. I didn't change my religion." Jalal says, "You promised me, then why did you go there? Why Hameeda went with you? I can't see in this condition. Tell me whole truth." Jodha says, "Hameeda made me agree to change religion." Jalal says, "This means it was Hameeda's idea. She forced you to change religion? I am hurt that the two women I trust most have hurt me. She has taken wrong decision. I will talk to her." Jodha says, "You swear on me that you will not talk to her. This is my and her matter. Don't come in between." Jalal says, "I am always in between." Jodha says, "This is matter of daughter and mother. I know how to pacify her. I promise you, but you promise me too that you will. You always order me." They hug. Hameeda says to Gul Badan that I always thought Jodha as my daughter. But she insulted me in front of priest by not agreeing to Islam. Gul says if Jalal gets to know about it, then he will be angry on you. Hameeda says, "I am not afraid of him. I am his mother." Hashia listens all this and thinks to tell everything to Rux. Hashia comes to Rux and tells her everything. She says, "What a great news. It's good she didn't change religion, and now Hameeda is also against Jodha. Now Jodha will lose against Hameeda. Now see what games I will play in harem." Todar says to Birbal that Jodha did good, as then it would have been assumed that Jalal bowed to Iran by changing Jodha's religion. Birbal says, "But it will affect harem relation." News of Jodha and Hameeda's rift spread like fire in harem. Inarkali says to Zil that Jodha and Hameeda's fight news is not good. Salim must be worried regarding this matter. He doesn't show, but he cares for Jodha. Salim comes to meet Jodha in her room. Jodha says, "I know Salim, why did you come here? You were bugged with me that I didn't change my religion. I couldn't give your rights. I have disappointed you as mother." Salim takes off his slippers and bows to Kana first. Jodha looks on. He lits diya of Kana's mandir. Salim says to Jodha that I am bugged with you, and the reason is, why did you think to change your religion? Jodha is stunned. He says, "Thank God you stopped yourself. You always taught me to respect all religions, to not get forced by anyone." I said in anger that why did you not change religion, but I never meant to hurt you. I say stupid things in anger. Jalal has made Murad next king for time being. I am not hurt for this that much, but if you had changed religion for me, then it would have hurt me most. Jodha smiles. He asks, "Should we do Kana's puja together?" Jodha get happy. He gives her arti plate. Rux comes there and see them together. She is angered and leaves. Jodha sings Man Mayan and does arti. Rux shouts in her room and says, after knowing that Jodha didn't accept Islam, Salim is not angry on her. Why? She gets jittery and eats opium. She gets peace and says to Hashia, who is mother of Salim. He says, "You." She says, "Then why Jodha is snatching Salim from me? I have to make Salim on my side at any cost. I have to talk to him. Jodha always snatches things from me." Jodha is in royal kitchen. She is making lunch. Cook says, "This is our work. Why you are doing it?" Jodha says, "I will make food today. You just give me ingredients." Jalal comes there and starts giving her ingredients from back. She asks one thing. He turns to see him and says, "You?" She says, "You always surprise me." Jalal says, "I like your surprised face. What are you doing here?" Jodha says, "I am making kheer, sweet dish, for Hameeda." Jalal says, "This is good idea. if I want to have something made by you then I should get miffed with you. Jodha says to Jalal that I don't know about you but I know Hameeda, her anger will go away in seconds when she will eat food cooked by me. Jalal says I know and also I know she likes almonds in kheer. She says you know much about cooking. He says yes as if I cook daily. She laughs. He helps her in making kheer. They both smile. Murad, Salim, Daniel are checking weapons for war. Birbal says that Jodha proved she is great queen by not changing religion. Salim says yes, she is deserving for all positions. She always finds solution for things. Birbal asks what about Hameeda? Salim says Hameeda wanted to do this for betterment of all of us but I don't agree with her that Jodha should change religion. I have learnt about Hinduism and Islam from Jodha only. She always taught me about Islam. She never forced me to follow any particular religion. Birbal asks will you not talk to Hameeda for Jodha? Salim says no. Jodha has always fight for herself. She has always found solution for things and she will do that this time too. Hameeda is selecting jewelry for Salima and Rux. She asks jeweler to go to Jodha after her room. Rux says you Alwasi love her and what she did. She went Aga isn't yo. Jodha comes there. Jodha asks Hameeda to eat kheer a little. Hameeda says I don't want to eat or talk to you. She asks her to stop pretending and leave. Rux says Jodha please. Hameeda is angry. Leave from here. Jodha is about to leave but Hameeda stops her. Jodha gets happy. Hameeda asks her to take food from here. Nobody will eat. Jodha is sad, takes food and leaves. Salima says to Hameeda that Jodha didn't hurt you deliberately. Hameeda asks her to not involve in our matter. Rux is happy. Jalal says to Birbal and Todar that I am going in war with my princes. You both will stay here to protect palace. Birbal and Todar promises to protect Palals. Jodha is crying in her room and sys to Moti that Hameeda has always supported me but this time she is against. How can I go against Jalal? Maybe I should have changed religion, only then Hameeda would have been happy. Moti asks her to not cry as Jalal will not like it. Jodha turns to find Jalal standing there only. Jalal leaves angrily. Jodha says what if he goes to Hameeda, they will have fight. It will not be good. Salim calls Qutb and asks can you give my letter to Anarkali? I am not meeting as per order. Just give her letter. Qutb takes letter and leaves. Rux comes there and says you don't have time for me so I came to you. Hameeda took Jodha to mosque to change her religion. But Jodha didn't change it. Salim says I also want Jodha not to change her religion. It would have been selfish if she had ditched her religion. Rux says but it's like she doesn't care about you at all. She doesn't want to see you as king. Salim says let Jalal decide who should be next king. I am proud of Jodha that she didn't compromise on her values and morals. I am always with Hameeda. But in this case, I am with Jodha and will never want her to change religion. Rux is angry but says I am proud of you son. Have this broad mind approach always. Hameeda is in her room. Jalal comes to her. She asks him to come. Jalal sit beside her. She shows him rings which she has made for his special wives. Jalal says these are 2 but I have 3 wives. Hameeda says maybe Jodha will not like my choice. I have sent jeweler to her room. She can take her decision. Jalal says she didn't agree to your one thing and you went against her? She did right by not changing her religion. You have always thought Jodha as your daughter and now you think like this for her? Hameeda says I took that decision for my nation and family. Jalal says what you thought right, you did and what she thought right, she did that. You should be happy that she followed my order by not changing religion. Hameeda says you were taking her side as her husband. Jalal says Jodha never Wanted me to talk to you about this matter, and I still remember you following your husband Humayun. When I was just 10 years old, you left me in palace and went with him in deserts, always took his side. Jodha is doing same, she is following my order, so what's wrong in it? You have accepted her as daughter and she always thought as mother, you can't break relation like this. He leaves. Hameeda looks on. Anarkali gets letter of Salim. She reads it. It says that I wanted to meet you before going on war, but I know you will not go against Jalal, so I will not force you to meet me. It's my wish to meet you. I have sent special thing for you. It's a sacred thread which you mother gifted me in childhood. It has always protected me and now it will protect you. If anything happens to me in war, then my lips will have your name till death. Anarkali hugs letter and finds sacred thread with it. She leaves her room. Jalal comes to Jodha with food. She says I am not hungry. Jalal says I am going on war. Spend some time with me. I can't even tease you about Hameeda now. Jodha says nothing like that. She loves me a lot but is miffed. She asks Jalal, did you went to her? Jalal says yes. I just asked her not to be angry on her daughter. He says I got to know from Moti that you didn't eat anything. You become kid sometime. Jodha says no, I take care of myself. Jalal says then why you didn't eat? He makes her eat grapes. Jodha while eating bites on his finger and laughs. Jalal says what's this? Jodha says don't worry. You just concentrate on war. I will take care of everything here. I will also pacify Hameeda. She makes him eat grapes and this time he bites her finger. She asks what was that? He says I have learnt from you only. They laugh. Salim talks to his horse. He says I am not getting sleep and you too are not getting sleep. Let's go on ride. You give me peace. I will give you peace. Anarkali comes there and says for your peace I have come here. Salim turns and is surprised seeing Anarkali there. She says comes to him. He says I had no hope to meet you. Anar says how can I not come? You are going on war for Sultanate, so I had to give you hope for fight. He says why you are giving me hope? She says because I want you to return safely from war. He says it doesn't matter if I remain alive or die in war. She stops him and says don't say this again. It matters to me. He says if it matters to you then why don't you say it? Why don't you say that you feel for me? If you say it once then I will leave everything for you. This palace, this throne, everything. She says that's what I don't want. I want you to win war and have happiness of life. Salim says my happiness lies in your happiness. Winning your love will be my biggest win. Anarkali says but I can only give you pain. Salim says if this is case even then I will return safely to bear it. For them it is enough that you came to meet me even after Jalal's order. He says you should leave before anyone see you, else you will be punished and I can't bear it. He says I want you to wait for me to return from war. She says okay, I shall leave. She is in tears and leaves from there. Rabba as Pyar Mine plays. In morning, Jalal with his sons get ready for war. Jalal says to Birbal and Todar to handle everything in palace. He says to Jodha that I will return soon. Hameeda says I will pay her for you. Jalal says I pray that when I return, everything will be fine between you and Jodha. Hameeda says if everything had to be fine, then this day wouldn't have come. Always remember that King of Iran has always helped us. Jalal says I will answer him for the question he raised on my family. He asked Jodha to take care of Hameeda. She nods. He leaves with his army. Hameeda says today all men of my family went for war, the war which could have been stopped by Jodha. She says to her that if you had changed religion then this wouldn't have happened. If anything happens to my family then I will not forgive you. Voin's over. Says that with time passing by, Jalal was going towards war. Other side Jodha was trying to pacify Hameeda, but she was bitter with her. Harem women are discussing something. Hameeda says to Jodha that, I don't agree with you. Jodha says, but Ami Jan. Hameeda says, don't call me Ami Jan. I am Mariam Makani for you. She says, I like to listen Ami from people who respect me. Don't call me mother from now on. She leaves. Jodha is hurt. Jalal's caravan has to stay at some place. Jalal addresses his army. He says that tomorrow we will have fight. I am thankful to you all that you came with me. On my orders, tomorrow we will not fight like army man or king, but we will fight with unity. We all will protect each other. All soldiers are requested to protect other soldiers in their vicinity. Raise your sword to make my thought win. Jalal says, I am sad to announce this war. I order you not to kill our enemy. If you have to defend yourself or protect other soldier, then you can kill enemy. But we all know that enemy soldiers have families too waiting for them. We will just answer them. Will not attack them first. Jalal leaves. Fazil says to soldiers that go and take rest. Murad says, they will not think once before killing us, then why should we think about them? Salim says war is fought with values and morals. This war is for our values. Maan says this war will give us peace of heart. Jodha says to Moti that I have sent letter to Jalal. It must have reaches Jalal. Soldier gives letter to Maan which Jodha has sent for Jalal. Maan gives it to Salim and asks him to give it to Jalal. Salim comes in Jalal's tent. He greets him. He says, Mariam Zamani have sent letter for you. Jalal takes it. He smiles and says husband-wife relationship is private. Salim says, yeah, I will leave now. You read in privacy. Jalal stops him and says, you know I can't read and write. Can you read this letter for me? Salim says, but you said this is private. Jalal says, nothing is private from you. In fact, you are proof of our love. Please read it for me. Salim is surprised. Salim reads letter. Jodha writes that everything's fine, but I miss you every single second. You are in my heart all the time. I'll miss you in palace. We all are praying for you win. We hope that you are protecting your princes, especially Salim because he was not with you in childhood, so pamper him. I hope that your rift will remove with Salim. He says something else is also written, I love you. I don't its meaning. Jalal smiles and says I understood T. Salim asked, do you talk with Jodha is code language? Jalal says this is language of love. When you love someone then I will tell you, go and sleep. Salim smiles and leaves. Hameeda says to Salima that I am praying day and night for Jalal's safety. Rux asks Jodha to come in Hameeda's room. We are playing chess. Jodha says no. Hameeda will not like it. Rux says nothing will happen. She takes her inside. Hameeda curtly looks at her and says I will play chess later. I am going. Rux assists you are leaving in middle. Hameeda says I am not in mood to play. Rux asks her to leave anger. Forgive Jodha. Hameeda say forget forgiveness. If someone takes her side then I will not like it. If you become her lawyer then I will think that you are going against me. Jodha says Rux I don't want you and Hameeda to have tiff. For me. Jodha says I will bear anger of my mother but I never want to hurt anyone. Hameeda says that is better. She leaves. Jodha is hurt.